AITA for telling my ex he was very inconsiderate of our daughters when he found out the gender of his new child with his wife. My ex and I separated about 4 years ago now. We have a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old girls. He has a son from a previous marriage that he has full custody of. He is 10. He's been remarried for 3 years now. I recently got married and welcomed a son last year. Well, I dropped the girls off to their dad for a gender reveal party. Ex and his wife are expecting. Well, I was watching the live video on Facebook and it was a boy. He said thank God. Thank God. Then he said I didn't want any more girls. I would have shot myself. My girls were standing there and that looked at the camera and I could see it in their eyes that his words had hurt them. I went to pick my girls up and I told him he should watch his words around the girls because when he said that it really hurt their feelings. He told me it was none of my business and I was trying to ruin his happiness. To which I responded that I was not trying to do that but protect our daughters for never feeling adequate when it comes to their brothers, and he was showing blatant favoritism. He got mad and spewed some nasty names at me. I took the girls home and they told me that their daddy only loves boys and he doesn't like girls. I calmed them down. AITA for bringing it up to him on their special day. NTA, that's so sad for the girls. Reading your other comment, he will 100% favor the boys over them. Get them into therapy or see if you can adjust the custody agreement, if he actually does end up treating them differently, because that's going to cause some serious issues within them. NTA, I'd be tempted to isolate a clip of his "oh thank God, I would shoot myself if it was a girl" and send it to him. He sounds gross. I mean, definitely keep a recording of it for future custody disputes. My God. NTA, oh God, he was one of those men. I'm so sorry. And I think it would be in the girls' best interest to limit their time with / exposure to this man. They were right when they said he doesn't like them. You were right to bring it up right away. He ruined their enjoyment of a special day with his hateful words. It reminds me of that one post on here by that guy who went to the doctor with his pregnant wife, healthy twin girls, and asked him how they could conceive a boy next time. NTA, what an absolutely terrible thing to say. AITA for getting my daughter a better laptop than my son. My son and daughter are both 17. I got both of them great laptops 4 years ago that should have lasted until now. My son broke his just a year after they were bought. I would have made him get one of the low quality laptops that their school issues, but my mom got him a new one. He broke that one too in just 2 years. After that, I made him get one from his school. A few days ago, that one broke. Paid the school for it and decided to get him a used laptop that will be enough for school but not too expensive. My daughter's has worked fine until now. Last week, my 7-year-old spilled water on it and it doesn't work anymore. I'm getting her a pretty expensive new laptop because she hasn't broken any electronics before and it wasn't her fault. My son saw that she's getting a better laptop than him and he said that I'm being unfair. I told him that he's destroyed 3 laptops in 4 years and money doesn't grow on trees. He said that I'm picking favorites, and I love her more than him. I said that he can get a better one with his own money when he starts working. Am I the asshole? Edit for judgment. NTA, your son has proven himself to be reckless with expensive technology. Seriously, how do you even drop a laptop down the toilet? INFO, how did each of the laptops break? The first one he dropped in the toilet. The second one he stacked it on top of some stuff, but the structure wasn't stable and it fell down when he left it unattended. The third one he put in his backpack and then forgot about it and threw the backpack on the floor. NTA, tell him you had a laptop budget for each of them and he's already spent all of his budget but she hasn't. He's got to learn a lesson about taking care of your belongings somehow. In the adult world, if you break your laptop by being a dumbass, you have to pay for a new one yourself and you've got to save to buy the higher quality brands, too. Stay strong. Not just this. Sit him down and show him how much you have spent on laptops for him versus laptops for your daughter. Reiterate to him clearly that you love them both equally, but that you can't afford to buy him expensive things so often. If her laptop costs more than 3 of his, yeah, you're probably rewarding her too much. NTA. Time for a basic math lesson up. Show your son the cost of his multiple laptops over the last 4 years. Then tell him he can shut it, or he can get on a payment plan to help pay you back for all the other laptops, and when he pays up, you will happily purchase him an expensive one, as his very last parental paid laptop ever. NTA. You bought him more laptops than you bought her. I'm willing to bet the total cost of all those replacement laptops is more than what she spent on the daughter's new one. AITA for walking out after being told one kid was autistic and another kid had a deathly food allergy. F16, babysit on weekends for some extra money. I used to babysit for this one lady, Diana, and her 2 kids, 1 and 4 meters, every day over the summer while Diana worked. Diana texted me last week and asked if she can give her friend, Jennifer, who has 2 kids, 6M and 4F, my number because it was her husband's birthday and they wanted to go out. I said sure, and Jennifer texted me asking about my rates, references, when I was trained in CPR, and a lot of other questions. NGL. It felt kinda weird to me, but some people are overprotective, so I went with it. Yesterday I got to their house and they left money for us to order food, and right before they walked out the door, Jennifer handed me an EpiPen and said 6M is deathly allergic to peanuts and 4F is autistic and has sensory issues, so get her some chicken nuggets. It took a second for me to process that, but I gave back the EpiPen and said I'm sorry but I'm not equipped to take care of your kids. And I left. Well, Jennifer is mad that I ruined their night and has been talking shit about me to Diana, but once Diana heard the real story she apologized and said she talked to Jennifer. AITA for walking out of a babysitting job when I learned one kid has a deathly allergy and the other kid was autistic. Edit. I wanted to add that I spent 6 months volunteering in a special needs classroom and I have some health issues, so I know how to give shots, although I've never used an EpiPen, so if they would have told me before, I probably would have taken the job and just watch a few videos on how to use an EpiPen. I was mostly just in shock and worried that other things would come up too that they didn't tell me about. NTA. I often keep a bag of nuts or PB granola bars in my bag just in case. What if Op had done that since she wasn't warned about the allergy? Also, WTF is with the "oh here is an EpiPen" thing. Like, I get that they redesigned to be fairly user-friendly, but administering life-saving medicine to a panicking 6-year-old is not something I ever want to experience. Here we see the classic bait and switch by Jennifer. You don't just tell a caretaker, as you're running out the door, that your kids have additional needs/medical conditions. NTA. Good on you, Op, for stating limitations and not going along with this. You just know she pulled that BS because she doesn't want to pay the rates for a sitter that specializes in caring for kids with disabilities. NTA. NTA. You don't get to just spring autism and severe food allergies onto someone. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they've had multiple attempted sitters before that bailed, so they wanted try and trap you as they walked out the door. Especially as 16-year-old. That's a lot. NTA. Jennifer should have supplied this info well before the point she did. You were well within your rights to refuse the job if you did not feel able to cope with the needs of the children. Their safety is paramount and that's what you were doing. She made this bed for herself, obviously trying to slip it in at the last minute to try to avoid a possible no from you earlier.